Ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds in the cruiserweight division. This bout is brought to you by Mark Nilsson of Nilsson Boxing in association with John Trethui of TM14 Promotions and their proud sponsors, Allegra and Nutravita. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, your area representative, Des Reese, and your timekeeper at the bell, Anne-Marie Randall, and your third man in charge of the action in the ring, referee Rocky Israel. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing the black and red. His official weight of 13 stones, 2 pounds. He is a veteran of 26 fights, hailing from Cornwall, England, United Kingdom. Introducing Dylan Courtney. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He is wearing the black and yellow. His official weight of 12 stones, 13 pounds. He has a record of 19 fights, 1 loss, 18 wins, and 4 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from New Malden, London, England, United Kingdom, introducing Lerrone Sniper the Boss Richards!
Hey, well, lads, you already know the rules. Above all, protect yourself and obey my command at all times. Now touch gloves and good luck. Let's go.
Well, here we go. Referee gives his final instructions. Lerrone Richards, coming off the feet last May against Steve Woodall. Stopped in 6 rounds there, looking to get back to winning ways. This is the former British, Commonwealth, European, IBO World Champion, who just seems to have lost his way in recent times. Going in against Dylan Courtney, only 2 victories out of the 24 fights, so you would expect Richards to get back to winning ways, but it's about how he does it. Joining me in the commentary position now, as always, is the one and only Radio Raheem and Priya Dinesha, former England boxer, ABA champion, England coach. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, I've done a bit. I've been in the game a little while. It's all been good fun, Spencer.
And you're going to call this fight with us to now, Priya?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, like you said, Richards is coming off of a loss and he needs to sort of avenge that and, you know, get back to his winning ways and build his confidence again in the ring after that loss. But, you know, Dylan Courtney's a durable guy. You know, he's had a few losses on his record, but he's tough and he's durable and he's not really been stopped early on, so he can take a shot.
Yep, that's what we're talking about. You know, with these fighters that have been in with some of the fighters on this evening, you go, they come in with losing records, but they come here really just to survive, and that's the moral victory for them. They go hearing that final bell so they can box again next week, and that's what we got here with Dylan Courtney. And this is going to be about Lerrone Richards, who we know has a lot of talent, but just how creative can he be tonight, because he's going to have to find the holes here.
Richards goes by the sniper, and you see him setting up his range with that jab. But tonight, I think he is going to find his target. This is a fight where you want to build that confidence back, know that that sniper shot still exists, and put your opponent on his bum.
And that's exactly what it is. It's all about confidence building here for Richards, who, as I said, is coming off that defeat last May, or the May just gone, against Steve Woodall. Dave Caldwell in the corner there, and Dave, a great trainer who works closely with Lerrone. Will be confident here, but it's how Lerrone actually delivers.
I think Lerrone's looking for more than a win, though. I think he's looking to actually win in style and show his class and show his skills. So, you know, getting the win is one thing, but I think he's going out there looking to do it in style.
Yeah, Priya, I totally agree with that. I think it's not about winning here, it's about winning in style. You know, he's got to be taken seriously here. He's got a good record, 18 and only that 1 defeat, but you go, you know, there's been weight issues in the past and issues that maybe affected some of his boxing and him pulling out of the fights, etc., etc. And for him to be taken seriously now, Richards, he really has to deliver. He has to make a statement here tonight.
I like his punch selection. He's being, there it is right there. I was waiting on the big left hand to back up all of these jabs and shots to the body, and there it is. He's been setting it up the entire round, and right there at the end of round one, you saw it deliver. This is early for a 6-round fight.
Southpaw style was effective, the one that he landed at the end of the round.
I don't know what Courtney can do in this round to turn things around, but I think one thing he's got to be looking out for is that big left hand. It's being set up incredibly well, and it's going to find its home if there's not some kind of offense coming from Courtney.
Well, this is the problem, isn't it, with Courtney, who more often than not loses these fights. If the fight is taken away from them early in the fight, they get very defensive, and we've seen that in some of the contests here this evening. But if you're allowed to grow into the fight and they feel that they can nick that win, and especially against a name like Richards, then he'll go for it. And Richards has started this one slow, so he needs to put his foot on the gas a little bit more here in this second round.
Yeah, while he's landing quite a few punches, you're right. He needs to pick up the pace and put a little bit mustard on those shots.
But also, I think it would be good for Richards to have a competitive fight coming off of a loss, you know, because that will really help him to showcase exactly what he's got. That, you know, it would be a bit of an anti-climax if he came in and completely dominated and stopped the fight. I think he needs something competitive to really showcase his skills.
And I think what they've done here, though, they've put him in an awkward situation here, Richards, because Dylan Courtney's coming with a record of only 2 wins, 22 defeats. You go, well, you're expected to win. And because of where he's sat in his career now, it's not just about winning. You can't go like, if you go and win this one on points in 6 rounds, you've not really made that statement. You've not really told us anything. Yeah, you've got back to winning ways, and it might be good for yourself. But you go, where do you go off the back of that? Like, for me, if I'm in his corner, I go, you need to go out here and make a statement, kid. You need to start being creative, like put those shots together, like not box the way that you're boxing right now. And I get it, he's only in round 2 here, but boxing like you're just having a little sparring session. You go like, let's see a little bit more, because you've got the capabilities to do that.
If a 22-2 fighter takes you the distance and makes it a tough fight, you're starting to ask yourself a lot of questions in the gym. Is this a career for me? Right now, Richards needs to not just make a statement to his fans and the potential promoters out there, but to himself, that this is not just an easy fight, but a fight where he can showcase how easy it is. He should be levels above Courtney and be able to put that on display tonight.
And especially when you look at the experience that he's actually got, you know, he's also got a real strong amateur experience too, you know, just missed out on qualifying for the Olympics. But, you know, it takes a lot to get that, and that foundation should really be providing us with a bit more action this evening in this contest.
Well, Priya, you know firsthand how difficult that is to get yourself in that position in the amateur ranks, to get yourself, you know, qualifying for the Olympics, or even trying to qualify for the Olympics, going through those tournaments, reaching that sort of standard. It's not an easy thing to do. You have to have some sort of foundation. Well, the first 2 rounds on our scorecard have gone Lerrone Richards' way, but we've not really seen too much. Richards in the black and yellow shorts, boxing out the southpaw stance, the stylistic fighter that he is, the shot selection that he's got, the capabilities that he's got. I need to see something, against no disrespect, but Dylan Courtney, is levels below him. I think we all know that. I think that Dylan Courtney knows that as well.
I mean, I think you can just tell just by the physicality of both fighters that Richards is, you know, leaps and bounds ahead of Courtney, even in terms of his physicality. You know, he's strong, he's tough, he's the taller fighter, he's the southpaw, he's got a wealth of experience behind him. And, you know, I think tonight will be a pivotal point for him in his career.
Yep, I think tonight we'll find out exactly what future Richards has, where he's going to go, because this is not just a routine 6-round workout for him here. For me, I think this determines, you know, what sort of road he's going down.
We need the sniper to start pulling the trigger. I need that left hand to start coming out of its tucked position. The jab is working, but it's not hurting the opponent. It's not even really breaking him down to the point where he's opening up. So that left hand will do the job. And Courtney's there for it. I'm not sure what we're waiting on.
Yep, I'm going to be honest, guys, that Richards for me at the moment is doing no more than sparring. That's pretty much what he's doing in there. He's flicking away the jab. There's no sense of urgency, Priya, and I need to see that right now.
Definitely, and I think Raheem was right earlier on when he said he's only got 6 rounds to make that statement, and right now he should have made that already.
Yep, there we see the southpaw jab to the body there. That's when you whip the left hand over the top, because the shot is there for him, that shot that I'm talking about there. And then I want to see you build on that, some more from that as well. Nice little counter punch there from Courtney.
You've got it exactly right, Spence. It's a sense of urgency that's lacking, and I had confidence that he was just going through the gears and going to switch up in the third. I haven't seen anything different in the third that I saw in the first and second. You're winning rounds, but this is not the kind of performance that you want to go with if you're the sniper and coming back off of a loss. 22 losses on your opponent to two victories. This has to be the kind of fight where you really let your hands go and wipe that smile off of Courtney's face.
Yep, I totally agree with that. I think that, you know, you're talking then, you're not just talking about physicalities here, because it's not a guy that we've seen deteriorate in front of our eyes. It's a guy that's been very much at the top, and for whatever reasons outside of the ring, fights have fallen through. It's time to roll the dice. I need to see a little something here, you know, like, all right, you've got the 4 rounds under your belt, you've done that. That's lovely, we've gone out there. I need to see some gears. Show me some gears. You know, we're stuck in gear 1 at the moment. I want to see you go into 2 and quickly into 3, back down to 4, and even actually, let's go to 5.
You tell me, Spence, am I missing something here? Are we not giving Courtney enough credit? Is there anything that Courtney's doing to prevent the kind of outcome and action that we want from the sniper?
No, Courtney's doing what he does best, and that's just standing in front of his opponent, making things a little bit hard. But we're talking about levels here, bro. We're talking about Guy that I've just said to you that we've gone through British Commonwealth, European, IBO World, like, you know, taking people apart and being a hot prospect at some point. If I'm 19 fights into my career and I've dropped back down to boxing at the York Hall Bethnal Green against a geezer that's, no disrespect, won 2 out of 24, and I can't put him away, I'm thinking about another job. I'm just being brutally honest there.
I have no comeback for that other than I hope he heard you.
Well, so do I, because, well, actually, I don't, in case he starts opening up combinations this way. I don't really want that either. But, yeah, look, I know how much talent this kid's got, and I just want to see it. You know, and it's frustrating when you see this, because then you go, then it does become psychological as opposed to physical.
Definitely, but I think if you watch him now and sort of towards the end of the fight, end of the last round, he's starting to land some real clean shots. He's just landed a couple of, you know, clean rear hands, and, you know, I think he's starting to maybe hear what we're saying.
Yeah.
Well,
he has landed a few more left hands in this fight, but I'm still not seeing the pressure. There's nothing backing him up. There's nothing keeping his hands at home. So really, the punch count should be up, and that left hand should be out.
Radio loves the underdog anyway, so Radio's secretly cheering Dylan Courtney on there. I know he's waiting for one of those big shots to come over or something, but I'm a Richards fan here. Dave Coldwell's my mate in the corner, and I just want to see it. I'm just frustrated watching it because I know what this kid has got, and I'm not seeing it.
Listen, if Courtney pulls this off somehow with a lucky haymaker shot, I'll be the first to scream, I knew it all along! Granddad's done it again!
Well, again, this nice work and it's controlled work here from Richards, but I don't know about you, Priya. Are we seeing any like sense of urgency here, or is this, you know, is he happy with this? I mean, where's he at with this?
I think he's definitely busier in this round. You know, he's definitely putting his combinations together a lot more frequently through the round. And we've also got to remember he's come off of a loss. Maybe he just wants the rounds under his belt.
That's a great point. Spence, do you think that there's a possibility that Caldwell was like, you know what, let's go in there and get these rounds. Don't have a sense of urgency. I want you to work through 6. Work on this, work on that. We're at your call on a Friday. No need to impress. Just do the things that we've been working on in the gym and go home with a victory.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely. You couldn't have been further from the truth. Where he's been, and that shows that he's topped the bills, and now we're here. I go, mate, I don't want to see you here. So just, you know, give me something. Show me something here, and then get back to where you belong.
This night could use a knockout, and certainly Sniper, it should be on his shoulders to deliver it. It's a good time for a nice, clean shot to the chops right there for a 10 count.
Well, he's got 6 minutes to do it because we're in 5 of 6 here. And it's time now to go through the gears a little bit, pick it up, and all is forgiven.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, fair play to Dylan Courtney, though. He's taken some pretty heavy, stinging shots from Richards, and he's still coming forward, tight guard, and, you know, he clearly is a durable fighter.
He's a tough dude. There's no getting away from that, you know, and I think we've seen that through this card tonight, you know, where you see guys with, you know, losing more often than not, you know, a couple of victories out of 60 fights, 70 fights and all that, but they're tough. And they come, and that's why, you know, they put bums on seats. People come to see them because they enjoy it, you know, and Courtney is a product of that, that's for sure.
It's a mad way to describe this fight, except that I would say Courtney's fight is the one that's being fought. It's really Richards that's fighting Courtney's fight. This is what he comes to do. This is exactly the kind of fight he'd like to be in. You get in touch, you get hit with the jab, nothing too heavy, nothing, combinations are not coming. You're going to get through 6 rounds without blood on your shorts or the canvas on your bum. That's a good night of work for Courtney.
Radio, you finally nailed it, my friend. You absolutely nailed it.
Listen, I was trying to make a team effort here, bring some, you know, bring some courage to what was happening in the corner there, but Spence won't let me away, won't let me get off with any of that nonsense.
Priya saved me. Save me.
Spence, I think you might be right.
Oh, I've lost her.
There you go. But back to this one, Richards again, you know, he's winning these rounds. His shots are good. Courtney showing good durability, but I feel like a stuck record because I'm saying the same thing, but that's pretty much where we're at here because the pattern hasn't continued. And you're right there, you nailed it with Courtney. They're fighting his fight.
Yeah. And we keep asking for it because we see it. It's not like the opportunity isn't there. It's not as if Courtney is doing something to prevent Richards from getting off. So it's difficult to watch and not call for it over and over again.
I mean, he's started to become a bit busier in the last couple of rounds, Richards. He's definitely sort of the variety in his punches has always been there, and he's sort of picking up the pace. But again, we're looking for an absolute stinging knockout, aren't we?
Well, we're just looking for, I know what this guy can do. That
feels like we're looking at. It's like not even a Friday sparring session. This is a Wednesday outing.
See, Richards is here going, right, now I'm hoping Frank Warren's going to be hearing about this and tuning in or going back on YouTube, or actually Eddie Hearn, you know, he may want me back on the shows and everything else. They're going to look at that and go, what's going on? Do you know what? Do you understand what I'm saying? Right. Turkey, you know, I want to call from Turkey. I want to get that. You want to get my backside out to Saudi. Well, you have to deliver now. That's my point.
Yeah, he's looking more like the guy you get called as an opponent instead of the guy you get called as the A side.
And I hate to bring age into this, but he is 33 years old, and you kind of wonder how long has he got to actually make his comeback and get back to sort of championship title level, you know, before he has to retire, really.
Well, it's a great fact that you've brought in there, Priya, and the conversation that we've not even had. You go, fighters get old overnight when you hit a certain age, and that is the bracket that you're talking about there. When fighters are, you know, you look at someone like Naseem Hamid, who felt like he was getting old at 28 years of age, and you look at other fighters that go on in their 40s, like Derek Chisora is still going, he's 40 years of age. You know, fighters do deteriorate differently at different times, and you just look at it and go, at 33, you've fallen into that category.
Well, it's about, you know, where's the tipping point into I need to retire now. And I think, you know, when you look at the up-and-coming fighters who are turning professional, they're turning professional younger and younger as well. So it almost, the gap between the young up-and-coming fighters and the older veterans is getting wider and wider. So I feel like, you know, the more experienced older fighters reach that tipping point sooner.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, look, you can see that the movement that Richards has got. You know, the kid's got it all. He boxes as good out of orthodox as he does southpaw. He has the moves. He's got that, you know, the shot selection and all that. But there's something just not there that was there before.
Yeah.
And I'm just not seeing it. And that's probably why I'm underwhelmed with the performance, because I know what this guy's capable of.
Jokes aside, I really would like to learn in the post-fight interview what was the mindset going into this fight, because he looks like he's enjoying himself. He's having fun. He's not really being posed with any challenges or being asked any questions, he also doesn't have that killer instinct. He doesn't have the finisher's mentality. I don't see any even spite on the punches, and that I don't understand. I could see maybe a guy being awkward and not giving you the opening that you're hoping for, not being on the night, but that's not what we're seeing. I just don't see the finishing that you would expect from a guy named Sniper.
Well, another dominant round again from Lerrone Richards. One thing's for certain, he's won 6 out of the 6 rounds that they've competed. And yet we have given him a pretty hard time tonight, but that's because we know what he's capable of. And we're talking about, you know, we're being constructive here. Like, it's constructive criticism in many ways, that you're going, you know, what is it? Where is it? Like, I need to see it. And you're at the stage of your career where you need to see it. And we didn't.
You don't you don't talk this way about a guy who doesn't have potential, who isn't impressive, who doesn't have talent. The reason we're being a bit harder on him tonight is because we expect more based on what we've already seen. The next fight out, he can do and deliver on what we're asking for tonight. But tonight, it was disappointing because we know what he can deliver, and we should see it out on the next outing for sure.
Sure. And I think that, you know, if you spoke to any coach in a gym, whether it's boxing or football or anything, the coaches are always hardest on their best players. And I think to end this, I think we were hardest on the best player of the night.
Yeah, well said.
That was so weird. That was so weird. It was unreal. Because you can't commentate on it. It's the same shit happening from the first ball to the last. It's a sparring session. It's looking at back. They're so hard to commentate on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the referee's scorecard. The ringside referee scores the bout 60-54. And your winner, Lerrone Sniper the Boss Richards.